Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here. Before we get started, let's get our shout out of the way. Today's shout out goes to Bryson Mustard. Bryson was the first to say first in one of my recent videos and thus wins the shout out, so congratulations. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and I have a neat new little micro FPV racer for you today. This is the HSKRC IX290. Now, what is the IX290? Well, it is an upgraded version of the iFlight IX2, which came out, I guess, last year. The frame is the same, but it appears everything else that they installed on it is different. For one thing, it's bind and fly. It comes available with Flysky, FSRX2A receiver, or Radiolink receiver. It also has a 600 TVL camera, Foxeer Arrow camera actually, supposedly CCD, and it has a built-in OSD system into the camera that it's kind of redundant because there's an OSD that comes with the transmitter also. Let's talk about that transmitter. It's a 40-channel, 25 and 200 milliwatt transmitter right there. One thing about this transmitter, there is no smart audio. So if you want to change the frequencies, the channels, the bands, the power levels, it is 25, 200 milliwatt. You have to press this one button right here. Long press, short presses. Unfortunately, there's no instructions included with it, so you're going to have to learn from trial and error to set it. I think that I have it set to 200 milliwatts right now, and the way I did that was I held this button down for 6 seconds, and then I pressed it twice. So I'm hoping that it reset it to 200 milliwatts, but we'll find out here shortly when we fly it. It does come with an Omnibus F4 flight control board, F4SD flight control board, loaded up with in beta flight through 3.4.0, and the date on that was July 8th, 2018. It also has BLHeli 20 amp ESCs, 4-in-1 ESCs installed in the power distribution board down here. That, and also they're attached to these HSKRC 1104 4000 kV motors. Now, this comes with a 2S battery, 550 milliamp hour 80C battery. I think this is limited to 2S batteries. I'm not sure if it's through because of the ESCs or because of the motors. Actually, probably because of the motors. You don't want to overheat those. So probably, I would not recommend going with 3S since they did not provide a 3S battery with this. Additionally, it comes with beeper and LED bars here already installed. Let's see, there's couple of things I wanted to go over though. There are some cons to this. First off is the prop clearance. If you look real closely, these props are just barely touching the screw on the camera. In fact, this one was touching the screw on the camera, and the way I corrected that was to bend the camera over a little bit so that it wouldn't impact the screws. Additionally, these back ones, propellers, when you provide lift on them, provide lots of oomph to them, these were bouncing against the video transmitter board. And the way I corrected that was I took one of my wife's, emery boards and filed it down just a little bit here, just to provide sufficient clearance for these propellers to clear. And finally, the third issue that I had was this comes with a FSRX2A, I believe, receiver, FSRX2A Flysky receiver right there. Easy to bind, but the problem is if you don't use a Flysky receiver, I'm using deviation receiver, the failsafe, I could not get failsafe to work with that receiver, unfortunately. It appears to only work with Flysky receivers. I'm sure somebody out there will correct me out in the peanut gallery there and let me know how to make Flysky, this FSRX2A receiver failsafe work with deviation. I'm not sure it's possible though, folks, because I tried everything using Betaflight, going into the deviation settings. I could not get Flysky to work. So the way I'm getting around that today is I have that thing set to 150 milliwatts, and I'm going to keep this close, and hopefully that won't become an issue. So we're going to start off first. We're going to with a line of sight flight. Let me turn on the transmitter, make sure all the switches are up, and then we'll go right into acro flying. So hold on, folks. Okay, it is connected to my receiver, and I am going to select angle mode. Center position, I have it set up for air mode, and bottom position is acro. But we're going to fly line of sight in angle mode, and then I'm going to arm the motors. There's the beeper, And now the motors are armed. Let's try and see what the flyability of this thing is with that little 2S battery. I'll tell you right now, there's not a lot of punch. There's full punch on this thing with the 2S. Not a lot of punch at all, folks. One more try, that's it. So, in effect, this little 2S might be best as a beginner's learn to fly acro. And we'll find that out right now as I'm going to fly it in acro. So hold on, folks. Disarming. Okay, let's go into that FPV flight. Adjusting the goggles on my face here, making sure they're comfortable. It seems to be a good picture. Going to acro, arming the motors, and taking to the air. Well, right now I'll tell you it's sluggish in its reactions, but let's see how it is. First off, I'm just going to fly it around a bit, get a feeling for it. Going up a bit higher. Well, it goes up slowly, but let's try that. Yeah, it's not really for what I wanted to do there, so let's see if we can do just FPV flying. Oh, there's somebody over there. I gotta be careful. Just FPV cruising, folks. Actually, this little things about you don't think it's good for. Right now, I'm got a feeling because it just doesn't have the punch. Not a lot of punch in this thing. Let's see if I can get some speed out of it. But with that in mind, it might be a good cruiser. Let me try going through here again. Going through the bushes, going around to that. Let's see if I can turn it. Yep, and the PIDs need a little work too. Need a little work in the PIDs too. They're a little wobbly. Little wobbly is an understatement, actually. Let's see if I can turn to the right with this thing. Is that walker going, my love? Can I go behind us?
Behind us, yeah.
Clear? Okay, going around. Going up and over. Well, again, a beginner's learn to fly acro, FPV, micro FPV racer. In effect, that's all I would recommend this for. It just doesn't have the oomph to. There's no punch in it at all, especially with 2S. I am curious if 3S would work with this. 3S would redeem it if it could fly 3S, but I'm not sure it can. I'm not sure it was designed for that. See, I'm trying to turn it fast. It wobbles a bit. Coming back again. It is a long flyer though with that battery. I'll give you that. So that's another good thing about it for as an FPV learn to fly. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Giving almost full throttle there. 3/4 throttle, folks. To keep it in the air with this battery. But yeah, that little 2S is not giving it much oomph. So with that in mind, we're just going to finish it off with gentle flying here. I am not going to try looping it or rolling it. It's not going to do such with this battery. Well, I'll give it one more try. Let's go up higher. See if I can at least do a forward roll. One up and rolling it. Full throttle to keep it in the air. I'm going too far down the field. I don't want to lose it. Well, it has good range on it. I'll give you that. Okay, our battery is getting weak now. We're going to call it quits here shortly. Let me go up a bit, go into stabilized mode. And we're going to land it. Coming back down. I still got some power on it, but I still got some power on it. Let's finish it out in stabilized mode. Let's simulate what a beginner flyer would be flying it as. We'll start off in stabilized mode. And you could do this in stabilized mode, flying nice and gentle. Learn to fly acro, or learn to fly FPV. Battery is getting weak. So, and now we're going to call it quits here shortly. Cut it in on acro. It's staying at 3.5 volts. Still a lot of voltage in this thing. Went back to acro then. Oh, never mind. Guess what I did? I turned it off. Let's go to acro one more time. Going back to the air. Still got some flight out of it. I'm taking that battery down until it goes below 3.5. And it's still got 3.5 volts in it. We're in acro again. And there we go. Let's see if I can do this correctly this time. One to stabilized. Instead of disarming it. And bringing it down, bringing it in. That's close enough. Landing it there. So, little HSKRC. Let me turn the beeper on so I can find it. Showing you it does have a beeper. Boy, look how close I was. I do the best landings, folks. But there it is. Oh no. As a racer, I wouldn't be racing this. This is a little micro learn to fly FPV racer with the 2S battery. Hopefully it can have 3S capability, but I'm not sure, folks. It's not advertised as such, and you only get the 2S battery. So until somebody tries this out with a 3S and confirms that they can fly 3S, I would not recommend it as a 3S flyer. But as a 2S learn to fly, yeah, great little quadcopter for that. So hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out.